Okay, I think it's time for us to get started. And my name is Laura Downey. I'm with the Kansas Association for Conservation and Environmental Education, and we're really happy to have you here today for our first Wild Wednesday at 1. So today we're going to have a lot of fun, and just so you know what to expect, we're going to do an introduction of today's topic and our presenter, and then you're going to go on an interactive field experience with question and answers with our environmental education expert. Then we're going to do a hands-on activity, so we hope that you gathered some materials that we sent out to you in the email. And finally, we'll wrap up with a Wild Wednesday challenge for you to share. Before we get started, I just wanted to share with you a little bit about how to use Zoom. So if you hover your mouse or your pointer at the bottom of your screen, this black bar is going to pop up for you. And it should have everything on there except for that question and answer piece, because we disabled that. So you can see the red leave meeting. If you click on that, you're going to get kicked out of the meeting. So please don't do that until you're ready to go. And you'll also see that, oops, excuse me, the audio settings. That will allow you to make sure that your speaker and microphone is working. There will also be a chat button, a chat bubble, that if you click on that, you can send messages to any of us, answer questions, ask questions, and then finally there's also a button down there that allows you to raise your hand. And if you raise your hand, we'll be able to call on you. And if we do call on you, remember that we may have changed your name to your first and last initials. And if we call on you, we're going to say, okay, RW, we're going to send you a message to unmute yourself. And if we do, you'll get a message that looks like this on your screen. And it'll say the host would like to unmute your microphone. And you are going to choose to unmute yourself. And that will allow you to talk with everybody. But right now, we're keeping everybody on mute. So raise your hand if you have any questions, or type it in the chat with us. Hope that that's clear. And again, if you have any questions, type the chat to us and we'll be happy to answer them. So we're going to get started today, and we're really excited to have with us Jill Haukos, who's the Director of Education with the Konza Environmental Education Program. And she works out at the Konza Prairie in Manhattan, Kansas, and is so knowledgeable about all the things that are out on the prairie. And so she's going to be leading our activities today around seeds. So I'm going to turn it over to Jill right now. Oops, excuse me. Sorry. Oh, technology, I love you. There we go. Let's see. I think I'm going to turn it over to her. Oh, there we go. There you go, Jill. Okay, so you should be able to share your screen. We'll let Jill take it away.
Got it. And I'm going to go to mine. And I'm going to go to, and we have practiced this.
Down at the bottom and share your screen.
Yep. Okay, so perfect. And I put together, hi guys, and I'm not at Konza, even though I've got this really cool background behind me. So like you, because of the coronavirus, we are not able to work at Konza. We only have certain people that are able to be there. And so I'm working from home. So I'm a lot like you guys. I'm doing my work from my kitchen counter. But I was able to put together a video about seeds. So our topic today is about seeds. And so I've got a video about that, and there's going to be certain parts of the video where we're going to stop, and I'm going to ask you some questions. So I want you to be listening really good and be prepared because there's going to be certain parts of the video where we stop and I ask you questions. So I'm going to go ahead and start the video and get that started now. And I am going to enlarge that. And here we go.
Yes, my name is Jill, and I am an educator, and I work at Konza Prairie Biological Station. And one of my jobs is to welcome school groups out to Konza and to show them around the prairie. But we can't do that right now because you guys aren't in school. So what we thought we would do is maybe have some activities for you guys. Whoops, there come my dogs. Okay. I'm back. The dogs have gone back in the house. And so I'm out in my backyard. I'm not at Konza Prairie because the only people at Konza Prairie are the ones that are essential for being there for keeping everything running. So I'm actually here in my backyard talking about plants, and we're talking about the plant life cycle because it's spring. It is the 2nd of April, and we're talking about seeds. And I've got some seed packets here because seeds are a big part of spring. And we're going to do an activity that is a hands-on activity that you can do at home. So we need to maybe start by thinking about where you might have seeds in your house. Can you think of seeds that might be in your kitchen? Hey guys, I'm in my kitchen and I have found some seeds in my kitchen that I'm going to share with you. Did you know? Can you see it? Popcorn. Those are seeds. Those are corn kernels, and corn kernels are seeds. How about rice-a-roni? Rice, another grain, it's a seed. And you're going to find lots of seeds. See it? Get the light right. Oh, there we go. And fruit, like tomatoes. Tomatoes have seeds. Other fruits that you may not know that they were fruits. And I've got it in a plastic bag because I don't want to get my hands all over it. Peppers. Can you imagine the seeds inside the peppers? Another fruit. We have seeds everywhere. Can you find 1 or 2 things in your kitchen that may have seeds in them? And then maybe draw or set them aside and we can talk about them. You can share them with the group.
Okay, so here's your chance. Find some things in your kitchen that have seeds in them and raise your hand and we'll talk about them.
So use that raise your hand button if you can think of some seeds that you might have around your house, and then we'll unmute you to talk. Okay, I see the Campanella kids, so I'm going to unmute you and tell us about the seeds you found in your house.
I actually have a banana, and bananas have tiny seeds inside of them.
That's super awesome. Yeah, they certainly do. And
They're really small, but they have them.
Yeah, they're super tiny.
Good job.
Thank you.
Anybody else find some?
yeah, it looks like I'm going to go down to Colton. I'm going to send you a message to let you unmute yourself. So Colton, what kind of seeds have you found out about your house?
I think that an orange could have a seed. Because then how would an orange grow if it requires a seed?
Yes, oranges have seeds. Oranges have some good seeds.
I know what have seeds there.
Good job, Colton. Yep, oranges have big seeds.
And then I think we're going to, how about TH?
I have apples, oranges, plums, and what else? Pumpkin seeds.
Oh my goodness, yes. Which ones have the most seeds, TH, out of all those?
Probably pumpkin seeds.
Pumpkins. And which one has the least amount of seeds out of all those? There's one, there, out of all those, there's one of them that just has one seed. Can you think of which one just has one big seed?
Oranges. No. Plum. That's
Plum.
right.
That's right. Plums just have one big seed. Good job. Good job. All right, maybe one more.
All right, you're gonna have to put your hands back up because I think we took them all down.
Or do we take them all down? Is there one more question and then we'll move on?
I don't see any more hands. Oh, wait, there's one. I'm gonna go down to the initials. Oh, where'd it go? Dang it.
We need to move
lost it.
on, maybe, Miss Laura?
Oh, there it is, MK.
I got dill seeds.
Dill?
They're an herb. Mustard seed.
Are they saying dill?
Yes, dill and mustard seeds, yeah.
Oh, very good. That's really good. Good job. You know who likes dill is butterflies like dill. If you have a dill plant, we need to plant some of those, but maybe not for a couple days. Good job, because we have snow coming tomorrow. So we need to plant our dill plants after a couple of days. All right, we're gonna go ahead and move on to the next part. Here we go.
One or two things in your kitchen that have seeds. So let's take a look at this YouTube video that shows seeds and the process of their germination.
Okay, now did you guys notice that the seeds started to slow down, but then they started to speed back up? Can anyone tell me what caused the seeds to start to speed back up? We did something to the seeds that made them speed up their growth again. Can anyone raise their hands and tell me what we did to make the seeds speed back up in their growth?
All right, I've got MC.
What do you think, MC? I think she's muted, or he. MC's microphone is muted.
Huh, okay. Let me see if I can unmute MC because I saw MC's hand go up. And now I can't find MC. All right, somebody else. Let's see if we can get somebody else here. Oh, unmute. There we go. MC, I see you at the top and it says you did not unmute yourself. So I'm going to try JW. You should be able to talk now.
You added more nutrients because when the video was half over, it said something about lack of nutrients.
Very good. That's exactly what happened. Seeds have a certain amount of nutrients that are already in the seed, but sometimes when the seeds start growing, they need nutrients from outside of the seed. And when there aren't any nutrients in the soil, they need to have added nutrients. And so the seeds will slow down their growth if there isn't any nutrients in the soil. So that's what we saw. We saw that the seeds quit growing until we added some fertilizer. And so we added fertilizer, and then all of a sudden, boom, the growth started happening a lot faster.
And I see MC got their microphone. So go ahead, MC. Did you have any other ideas or thoughts? Well, I'm afraid your microphone may not be working. Darn it.
I'm sorry. Okay. We may have another chance for you to talk later. I'm going to go ahead and move ahead, Miss Laura, if that's okay with you.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
So seeds germinate and they grow and they produce flowers, and then they produce fruits, and they produce seeds. And then the seeds need to somehow drop and get sent away from the plant. They need to be dispersed. And the seeds get dispersed in a variety of ways away from the plant because the parent plant doesn't want the seeds to drop right next to it, because if the seeds drop next to it, it's bad. If the seeds start growing right next to the parent plant, the baby plant will take all of the nutrients in the water that the parent plant needs. So the parent plant needs those seeds to be dispersed away from it. So let's watch this YouTube video that shows the different ways that seeds can be dispersed.
Other plants can drop a large and heavy fruit full of seeds from their branches. Some of these fruits, like apples and coconuts, roll away from the parent plant, decompose, drop their seeds, and begin a new plant. Some of the softer fruits can actually open upon impact with the ground and scatter their seeds in the process. These fruits can also be carried away from their parent plant by water or animals, which brings us to our next method. If an animal eats and digests the fruit, the seeds will pass through the animal's digestive tract. Because of the harsh acidic conditions of the stomach acid, plants have evolved to make seeds with very hard outer coatings or shells. This way, the seeds pass right through the animal's intestines, and the animal drops the seeds out in a nice, fertile poop. Oftentimes, the animal's waste provides a good place for the seed to sprout and begin growing and spreading. Plants that use this strategy have evolved to produce brightly colored fruits that taste very sweet, and the animals love the sweet-tasting fruit. Raspberries, grapes, dates, and other berries use this method to attract birds and small rodents who travel long distances. Other plants use animals in a different way to disperse their seeds. These plants have evolved spiny or hooking seeds that can actually get stuck to an animal's fur, skin, or feathers as they walk through their environment. You've probably had this happen to you if you've ever gone on a long walk or hike and noticed some plant seeds or debris sticking to your pants or socks. Eventually, these seeds fall off the animal or your pants a long distance away from the parent plant. That's the most interesting method of seed dispersal. Uses the natural process of evaporation to actually burst open a seed pod with an explosion. During hot, sunny days, the side of the seed pod that faces the sun gets warmer and drier than the side in the shade, which builds up pressure that creates a mild explosion or popping and can send seeds flying up to 100 meters away from the parent plant. For example, this tree is actually nicknamed the dynamite tree because of how loudly the fruit explodes when the pressure builds up on the inside. Other plants that use this method include exploding cucumbers and touch-me-nots. You can see how they get their name. Next, many trees and plants simply use the wind to disperse their seeds. Some of these plants have evolved to produce seeds that are so incredibly light that they can fly in the wind and land miles away from the parent plant. Many of the annoying weeds that keep popping up in your garden use this method, like the common dandelion, whose flying seed kind of looks like a Fortnite glider, and the Canadian thistle. Maple trees, on the other hand, don't necessarily have super lightweight seeds, but have evolved wing-like structures that look and act like helicopters when they fall off of the parent tree. These seeds don't fly as easily as a dandelion would, but can still travel great distances, especially if the wind is strong. Lastly, seeds can find their way into rivers, streams, and other bodies of water. Aquatic plants have evolved lighter, more buoyant seeds that can actually stay afloat or stick to the surface of the water for a while. Eventually, the seeds settle in the downstream soil right next to the river or the stream, which is usually why certain plants like willows or foxgloves are actually found.
Okay, so I'm going to stop it here because there's two things I want to talk about here. First, I want to see how many different forms of dispersal you can remember from that video. So raise your hand if you can tell me one of the 5 different methods of dispersal you can remember from the video, and I'll keep track, okay?
So LD, you're up first.
Okay. Go ahead.
Say it loud, LD.
Gravity, animals, popping, fly.
Oh, she's, okay, LD's saying them all. Okay, go ahead. Gravity, animals, what else?
Popping, fly.
Okay.
Wind, water.
Okay, I think you got them all. All right. Gravity. Okay, so animals. So let's talk about the animals one for a second. When you're talking about animals, how are animals dispersing the seeds? You want to talk about that, LD, for a second? Or do you want to give that to somebody else? Oh, LD is coming back. How are
Bright colored fruit.
Okay, so
They
bright.
eat the seed and it gets stuck to their body or in their intestine, and then they poop it out and it could be made into bright colored fruit.
Very good. So, very good. So the bright colored fruit, the animals are attracted to it because it's brightly colored. And a lot of times the brightly colored fruit is also, not only does it look pretty, it also tastes good. Can you think of, we'll go to somebody else. Can somebody think of a brightly colored fruit that is not only pretty, but tastes good? Can somebody give me an idea of a fruit that they think of that is pretty, but also tastes good?
All right, I've got, oops, hang on. Yeah, JB or GB, sorry.
A peach.
A peach. Yes, peaches are pretty and also taste good.
Or like a
Oh,
Go ahead.
or
sorry.
like a banana.
Mm-hmm. Bananas are pretty.
Or oranges.
Mm-hmm.
Or an apple.
Yep.
Pineapples are a little bit spiky, but when you cut through it, it looks good and it tastes good.
Okay. So here's a harder question. Can anybody think of a fruit that isn't pretty, but animals disperse it? That isn't pretty and doesn't taste good, but animals disperse it? That's going to be one of the harder questions.
All right, I think I'm going to try Sorensen.
I think a raspberry that's black could be one. Kiwi.
Raspberries and kiwis are both going to be examples of your pretty fruits, your pretty sweet fruits that the animals are going to, they're going to eat and poop out. We're still in the pooping categories.
Cool. Now it's my
Who knew we were going to be talking about poop today?
How about let's try
She doesn't bring
let's try MC.
a spiky pear.
Oh, a spiky pear. I don't even know about a spiky pear. I've never even heard of a spiky pear.
So in the comments, AS said poison ivy.
Oh, poison ivy probably is. Yeah. I need to look up to see how poison ivy is dispersed. I don't know how poison ivy is dispersed.
And LD said prickly pear.
Oh, prickly pear, like cactus. Cactus, prickly pear, has a red, pretty fruit that is typically eaten by things like deer. So that's example of your pretty fruit.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking of things that stick to you. Like, has anybody ever heard of a cocklebur?
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever had a cocklebur on you? Anybody? So cockleburs are, yeah.
Yeah.
So a cocklebur is actually the fruit. And the fruit is designed to stick to you, and it has seeds inside. And so you are dispersing the seeds for the plant. Had you ever thought about that? Maybe? So the second part of the video, I had left my house and I went to Konza Prairie, and I went to the nature trail on Konza Prairie, and I went to look for different kinds of seeds. And so I took my camera with me to look for different kinds of seeds. Now we're out on the prairie, and I want you to think to yourself, what kinds of seeds would we find on the prairie? So here we go. I'm going to go ahead and start the video again. Are you guys ready?
Welcome to the Konza Prairie Nature Trail. Today we are going to go on a little bit of a hike, and we're going to see some seeds. Okay, so your mission here is to come out. Now most of the seeds are going to be gone because they have been burned. But your mission is to come out here and maybe to find some of the burned ground and to look to see if you can find some seeds that are actually growing. And what you're going to find some grass that's coming up here. But what you're going to look for is some seeds that are germinating. Those aren't seeds that are germinating. These are actually grasses that are coming up from grasses that had already survived from before. These are perennial grasses. So what we're looking for is seeds that are germinating. So, nope, not these yet. Stay on the trail. Be sure to follow the signs. Don't go down to the creek. The signs mean it. We do not want you to go down to the creek. Now there's a trail there, but that's for the researchers so they can access the creek. Okay. So welcome to the first field here. You can see we've got the stone steps and you can hear that it's windy. One thing you should know about the prairie, it's just about always windy. I'm not going to go a whole lot further because I don't want to ruin what you're going to see here. But I do want to give you an assignment when you come here to visit and walk the trail at Konza Prairie. Oh, by the way, you're going to see these numbered signs. The signs correlate with a brochure that we have that helps you to understand what you'll see at each stop. So there's a brochure at the front, a self-guided brochure. So your assignment is to look down. And what I want you to do is to go down into the grass. And I want you to find germinating seeds. So we're looking down and look at that. Look what I found. A whole bunch of germinated seeds. And you can tell germinating seeds because they have 2 brand new little leaves. And that's what we're seeing. These are 2 brand new baby seeds that indicate a germinating seed. And it's a whole bunch of them. And this is what I want you to find. You might have to dig. You know what? Let's look again. Let's go to another spot because we found a boatload right there. So let's do it again. Let's go. Ooh, okay, so here's a pile of grass. And this will probably be burned by the time you come. So let's look right in the middle of all this. Look at that. What did I find? Germinating seeds. All right, this is going to be your scavenger hunt, guys. Look on the prairie and see if you can find germinating seeds.
Okay, so if you get a chance, go out to Konza Prairie when you and your family feel like you can go out there. There is this section of the prairie has not been burned, and there is still some standing dead grass there. You can go through there and look for some of the germinating seeds. This next part of the video is looking for some of the different kinds of seeds that are left over from last year. And I want you to remember what I said when I was walking up the trail, that it's almost always windy on the prairie. Remember that. So let's take a look at the kinds of seeds that I find here.
So I'm just right on the trail. You don't have to go off the trail to find them. There's your assignment.
So these are plants
Most of them are
left over
gone, but
from last
some.
year. And I'm just
still
looking at
here.
some of the
Here's
old
some.
seeds.
The little tufts. I'll pull them out. It's a still day, so they're not flying away. Here's some seeds. Look at that. Look close. Pull them out. Lots of fluffy tufts. Again, packed in there tightly. So look at this plant. And look at those seeds. Aren't they pretty?
Okay, guys, so you've seen 3 different kinds of seeds. How do you think these 3 different kinds of seeds are dispersed? Raise your hand.
Let's see. How about someone we haven't talked to yet? MH.
What do you think, MH?
They get dispersed by wind.
Very good. They're going to be dispersed by wind. In fact, many of the seeds on the prairie are going to be dispersed by wind. Why do you think, MH?
Because it's windy on the prairie and there aren't a lot of trees to block it.
Exactly, because it's very windy on the prairie. We don't run out of wind on the prairie, not hardly ever. So let's see what this has to say. Good job, MH.
So far, all the seeds that we've seen have had little tufts on them, which means how are they dispersed? Which makes sense, right? Okay, so they're going to be dispersed by the wind because this is the prairie. That makes sense. Okay, so this is Illinois bundle flower. Here they are. They look like little bean pods. If we open them up, we'll find seeds inside. Okay, so I've opened up the seed pods, and three of them were empty, and you can see where the seeds were. But one of them still had seeds in it. You can see the 3 seeds in that. See how they look like little bean seeds? So the ones that had that are empty, the seeds dropped straight down.
Okay, so take a look at these seeds. They don't have little tufts on them. And so these seeds, and like I just said in the video, the seeds drop straight down. They don't fly. So why would this be a problem for the plant to drop straight down instead of flying away? Anyone want to answer that one?
Let's see. How about the Campanella kids? There we go.
Like you said earlier, if the seeds drop down and start growing right next to the parent plant will take all of the nutrients and they will not be able to grow.
Okay.
The other ones, I mean.
It could be that way, or how about if the babies started to grow, what would the babies do to the parent plant?
The babies would take all of the nutrients from the parent plant and the parent plant would die.
Right, right. So what does the parent want for the kids' survival? The parent
nutrients?
The parent wants the kids. It's kind of like when you grow up and you go off to college, your parents love you dearly, but your parents want you to go ahead and go get your own house. And so the parent plant is kind of like that. The parent plant wants the kids to go off and to go get their own place somewhere else and to get their own nutrients somewhere else.
Yeah.
So this plant doesn't really have a strategy for that. And what's interesting is this plant actually has a lot of wildlife that eats the seed. So it's actually wildlife that eats the seed versus the seed. But let's see what happens. Let's follow this story. Good job, Campanella kids. Let's see what happens with this story, because we're going to take a look at this for a second.
And the ones that have the seed still in it, the pod wasn't completely split open. So these pods split. So I'm gonna just toss them. Here we go. And the seeds just fall out. And the seeds just drop straight down to the base of the plant. And so what happens there is that the seeds, if they get a chance, will grow, and they'll grow right down here at the base of the plant. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to look to see what's going on down here. Because odds are nothing's growing. Not yet. But take a look at that. That is a germinating seed right there. So that could be one of our little seeds germinating. Now, why would that be bad for the plant? Why would the plant, there's another one right there. Who knows? They're two different ones, aren't they?
You see the
Why would
tiny
the
little one?
plant, why would that be a bad strategy for the plant? To just have its seeds just simply fall down at the base of the plant. The seeds that have the wings have a better strategy than the Illinois bundle flower. What's the better strategy? The better strategy is dispersal. Is a great example of a wind dispersed seed or plant with a wind dispersed seed. Another one. Here we go. That gives it something to focus on. Almost look like badminton birdies. Okay, so there's a seed.
All right. Even though it's upside down, does anybody recognize that big seed? Kind of out of focus, but raise your hand if you recognize that seed. Oh, anybody?
All right, MC. Oops.
What do you think, MC?
Go ahead, Maddie.
I can see the seed.
Can you see it?
Yes.
What is it?
I'm not really sure.
What do you think it is? Does it look familiar?
No.
Okay. Does anybody think it looks familiar? Even though it's upside down.
All right, let's try. Trying to get to some people who haven't talked yet. How about
We have some
MK?
MK, we have some shy people.
A walnut.
Looks a lot like a walnut, except it has a big furry cap on it. And walnuts aren't going to have a big
Acorn.
It is an acorn. Very good. Okay, MK, what kind of trees make acorns? It's one of my favorite questions.
Oak tree.
Very good. Oak trees. And do you happen to know what kind of oak tree made this great big acorn? That's a hard question. Not sure? That's the hard question.
Pinot.
That's a really good answer, but this one is a bur oak. It's a great big acorn. And on Konza, it's a great big tree. It's called a bur oak. So let's hear a little bit more about this one. Good
It's a
job,
big one.
MK.
There's a couple of different seeds there. There's acorn and the hackberry. And the hackberry is surrounded by the berry. So, let's do this. You ready? Here we go. Seeds right there. There's the seed, surrounded by the fruit. So fruits are designed to help disperse the seed. So with the acorn, the fruit is actually the cap, and the seed is the nut.
Does anybody know any kind of wild animal who likes to eat acorns?
All right, ES.
What do you think, ES?
A squirrel?
Good job. Yep. Squirrels love acorns. And in fact, squirrels are probably responsible for planting most of our trees around here. They plant the acorns and then they have really bad memories about where they planted their acorns, and then the acorns start growing and we get trees growing. So squirrels plant most of our trees.
So let's investigate that a little bit further. Oh, by the way, do you know anybody who likes acorns?
We
Here's
found that
another
one.
big seed.
Oh, here, we'll take a look at this one a little bit closer.
Anyone recognize it?
All right, here we go. This is our last seed. It's kind of fuzzy. Does anyone know the name of this big seed? Might have it in your backyard.
Right, let's see. Colton, you're on.
I think that is a I think it might actually be an apple seed.
Ooh.
Well, that's actually all I can really think of right now.
That's all you can think of?
I'm trying to look through my backyard. Maybe a berry seed, but berries are their seed. Maybe it's another acorn. I don't know. Yeah, I think it's an apple seed first.
An apple seed?
Yeah.
A really big apple seed.
I have
Or a
those in
cherry
my,
seed.
yeah, I have those in my backyard, and when they fall down, at first they look bright green.
And it can make a pretty big mess.
And they stink.
I got chosen.
All right, let's try someone else.
There's most people who have them in their backyard don't like them.
All right, TH, what do you think?
I think it's a walnut, and they grow on a walnut tree. It's walnut wood.
You're very good. Yep, that's right, TH. You got that one right. Let's see what we say here.
Look at all the grooves. Some of you might have this in your backyard. Can make a big mess. This is a black walnut.
So this is just to show you that seeds can come in all different shapes and sizes. Some have wings, some don't, some have caps, some are surrounded by bright fruit, some don't, some have prickly things on them for getting caught in fur of animals, some don't. There's lots of different kinds of seeds. And what we hope you get a chance to do sometime is to come out to Konza and walk on the nature trail and maybe find some germinating seeds, or in some of the areas that haven't been burned, look for some seeds that might still be there. So this is the end of my portion of the talk. I'm going to stop the screen share and I'm going to pass it on over.
All right, so we're going to move on to Rachel, and she has two handy dandy helpers with her today who are going to help you do an online activity.
Yes, I do. Jill, that was awesome. Thank you so much. That was wonderful. Well, we are so excited to be with you guys today. And so we're going to review the different kinds of ways that seeds disperse, because we are going to end with a super cool nature challenge for you guys. And we're really excited about seeing what you decide to do. But Jill talked about all the different ways seeds disperse. And so your challenge is going to be thinking about a seed. And you're going to think about where this plant lives. And you're going to think about the seed that it produces and how that seed disperses, okay? So just to review, and you have to pick a category of what you want, of how you want your seed to disperse. So obviously we had floats on the air, right? Like the pretty fun dandelions. There's flies through the air. And actually, Asher, we went on a bike ride yesterday, and those little maple leaves, the ones that are like helicopters, you were on your scooter. Do you remember what those sounded like when you went over them on your scooter?
Yeah.
So that's,
Crackle.
they were crackling. And so it can kind of float through the air, floats on water like coconuts. You know, coconuts can travel a long way just floating on the water. Some seeds can bounce or roll. So if you think of the acorn, like Jill was talking about, and it hits the ground, and sometimes it can roll far. Or squirrels are putting it and they're moving it. You know, they're hiding those seeds everywhere. So that's another way seeds disperse. Let's see, sticks to animals or sticks to us. We talked about throwing and ejecting seeds, and released by fire. So here's your challenge, you guys, okay? And so what we're gonna have you guys do, and you probably, we have a little place where you're gonna be able to share your seeds for this challenge, but you're gonna be able to build your own seed and share with us how it disperses, okay? So I'm gonna turn it over to Avery. Do you want me to do your brother first, or are you ready?
No, Asher.
Okay, so Asher, do you wanna show them what you made and how you're gonna make your seeds disperse? Hurry up, go get it. So he has created a pretty cool system for seed dispersal. Oh, he lost his seeds. All right, so tell everybody, we'll work on this some more this week, but really quickly, tell them about what you made.
I have a popcorn seed. And then I have a paper airplane, and I made a little hole in the back, so that way when I put it in and when I throw it, it'll fall out.
So that's his seed dispersal, is he's gonna fill it with seeds and then test it, and he's gonna see how many seeds fall when he tests it. And maybe we can try different kinds of airplanes this week to see which one is the best, okay? All right, so Avery, tell everybody about what you made.
Okay, so this is mine, and I'll tell you about it a little bit. So it would start by living in the water. That's where its surroundings would be, sort of like a mermaid tail. But then when you turn it around, so this seed dispersed by flying. These are the wings. It flies away from its parents. When it lands, the string opens up right here with the paper clips on the side, and it opens up, and the bag opens, and then you'll find the fruit inside of it. And that's mine.
Would you call it a unicorn seed or something? Oh, we changed our mind. Okay, it may not be a unicorn seed anymore. They like it though. Okay, so with that, you guys, we're so excited to see what you build and you construct, and we can't wait to see it and celebrate you guys as we're learning all about seeds, okay? So for next week, we have a couple things that we want to share with you and how you can do this challenge, okay? So we're calling this the Wild Wednesday Challenge. And so we would love for you to share your construction of or your drawing of the seeds you created. Just make sure you don't post a picture of yourself with your constructed seed or drawing, because we are going to have you post it on social media using the hashtag. So if you don't know how to, your parents can, or your family can help you with this, but design away. And then you're going to hashtag it with EE with Casey. Or you could email us your super cool design, and we'd love to see that at info@casey.org, and we would love to share that. Now, if you would like to take this to the next level, we would absolutely love you to find a nature buddy this week. So a nature buddy is going to be someone that you can do this challenge with. And so if you want to sign up to get yourself a friend who's on right now, this is kind of like pen pals where you can meet new friends. So if you want a nature bunny to share your seed and your design with this week, then you're going to go to the chat, right? And you're going to type your first name and your last name and your age. And we're going to partner you up to the best we can with a nature buddy for this week. How fun is that? I'm going to put my own name in there because maybe Laura can find me my own nature buddy this week. Wouldn't that be fun? Maybe Laura will be my nature buddy. Okay, so with that, you guys, last thing is we want to prepare you for next week, because this is going to be happening every Wednesday at 1. So our next one we're so excited about is on Earth Day. So there's so many cool things that you can go out and do this week to celebrate Earth Day. And so next week, we are going to be hanging out with the amazing Delia Lister, and she's from Pittsburgh State University Nature Reach, and she is going to talk about adaptations of animals. And I don't know about you, but I love animals. But the big thing that you guys need to know is that every week you have to register for these. And so we're going to be sending out an email. Since you guys are already here, you guys are going to be getting an email from us that you guys can register again for next week. And remember, space is limited. So if you want to be on next week, do it quick, do it quick, do it quick. And finally, if you have some friends who think that they would enjoy watching this, well, we are recording it and we're going to put it on YouTube. And so that way people who missed it today and you want to share it or you want to see it again, it's going to be available to you. So with that, you guys are awesome. Seeds are awesome and nature is awesome. So we are just wishing you a super, super, super fun week. You guys are the best, and just go out and have some fun outside, okay? All right.